Hello, and welcome back to Skep's Unnamed Deck Showcase. In this episode of the show, I return to the game after the ban list, taking Tachyon out back behind the shed where it should have been since its inception. Well, the new ban list does not go live until next month. I am going to be showcasing some games against future ban list compliant decks, so we can see how this deck performs in the upcoming format where it will be more playable than it is now, thanks to the lack of a Tier 0 super threat. So without any further ado, let's take you right into the deck editor and see what exactly we are working with this week. So here we are with the deck, and I'd like to tell you this is a product of my own imaginative deck building, but unfortunately, I am a filthy net decker this time around. I'd like to be able to tell you the username of the person who I took this deck from, but because Duel Links Meta is a bad website, I cannot tell you the theorists behind any decks older than 4 weeks, which is when I ended up building this deck. You are seeing a deck I built about a month ago, so I can't tell you who built it unless I give DK $5, and I've got better things to spend that money on, so for the purposes of this video, they will have to remain anonymous. Just pretend they are in a witness protection program of some kind. Let's go over the card by card. After, of course, our skill, we're playing the standard skill for Sushi, that being, of course, the level 5 reload. Level 5 reload, very simple. Return one level 5 monster from your hand to your deck, then draw one card. You cannot use the skill on your next turn. This skill can only be used once per turn if you have not used the effect of a level 5 monster, or a monster rather, whose original level is level 5. Don't you miss when skills were just this simple? They didn't play the entire deck for you. You couldn't activate them 12 times in one turn, and they didn't net you incredible card advantage or fill your graveyard for free. It's just a simple mulligan if you fulfill specific conditions, and it enables a game plan that I think is very fair. If all decks in Duel Links were like this deck, I would not be crying about skills very often. And this deck does something else that I really like about Duel Links that the TCG isn't quite able to do. It's able to utilize sub-engines that are typically very underpowered in the TCG, but are absolutely perfect for Duel Links' power level. Let me explain why we are playing the Spellbook engine and why it was, while not powerful enough in the TCG to see widespread play as far as engines go, it is great for Duel Links. So what this engine does, it's a 3-card engine, meaning it's very easy to fit at the cost of a couple staples, but we're already playing the 3 most powerful staples in the game, so it's not that big of a deal. What this allows you to do is utilize your normal summon, which we typically don't need thanks to Shari Red and Uni, to add a Spellbook of Secrets, or vice versa. If you draw secrets, you add Blue Boy. Blue Boy will add the knowledge, but if you don't draw the secrets, you'll normal Blue Boy, search the secrets, activate the knowledge to get Blue Boy off your field and draw 2 cards. This makes it a lot easier to set up your combo because both Shari Red and Uni need specifically another copy of Shari or Shari Red in the hand to execute your full combo. So having extra draw power at the cost of extra staples is, I think, quite all right in this deck. I wouldn't really swap these out for like 3 Book of Moons or whatever unless I didn't own them, in which case you could play something like 3 lands, 3 Book of Moons, whichever you prefer. You could also potentially cut down to 1 Ikura, because honestly I haven't really used Ikura that often except to Xyz into Ikura class Dreadnought. So if you wanted to cut your Ikura to 1 to play the Mystical Space Typhoon at 2, that's probably fine as well. And then if you do not own the Spellbook package, you can just play 3 staples in that slot. I think that's fine. To go over our Suship cards, we're playing 3 Shari and Shari Red, as well as the cards that search both of them out. Painful Decision at 2. Because of how Painful Decision is worded, it says send a level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, add 1 card with the same name as that card. It doesn't say that the same named card has to also be a normal monster, so you send your normal monster Shari to the graveyard and add your effect monster Shari to your hand because its name becomes Shari well in the hand, deck, graveyard, or on the field. So we are effectively playing 5 copies of Shari Red, which is quite nice. 3 copies of the next best Suship, Guncan Suship Uni, as well as our mulligan target is a level 5 monster. This card is less powerful than Shari Red, but both of them do get you access to your super class Dreadnought, which is typically what you make going first while drawing you a card. Guncan Suship Ikura as a flex extender. I think cutting this to 1 and playing MST alongside it at 2 instead is perhaps the way to go. Sometimes you just want multiple spell and trap card destruction, so I would maybe consider doing that. I don't really feel the need to explain why you would cut this. It's not ideal. It summons itself if you have Shari, so in the pinch it does enable your rank 4s, which is why I wouldn't cut it completely. 2 doesn't necessarily not make sense since unlike Shari, it is not searchable with Painful Decision, so you're not wrong for playing 2. but you might find that 2 spell and trap removal cards like MST or Cosmic does come up for you more so than the second Ikura. You'll just have to make that decision for yourself. I know thinking for yourself is very difficult. A lot of the skills are designed to alleviate as much thinking from a player as possible, so it might be frightening entering a new deck where you have to do a little more thinking for yourself about card ratios and stuff, but I believe in you. I know you can do it. And of course, 3 Trinity pieces. Ice Dragon's Prison is in the same box as these, so hopefully you'll have pulled 2 of it in your hunt for the 3rd Uni, and 1 Compulse just because I don't really want to max out on IDP because there are some decks that don't lose to it. So having a Compulse for flexibility is quite nice. This can be really any other card. I wouldn't recommend Crackdown unless you want to play a random Nightmare Phoenix in your extra deck. Speaking of, 2 copies of Unis, typically because we're going to make one going first, and if it gets outed, we want the second one. 1 Ikura class Dreadnought because you only ever make this going second unless you have a really bad hand. 1 number 80 Rhapsody and Berserk. This is a double DD Crow on a sorcery speed monster, which means it does lose to Book of Moon before you get to activate the effects. But importantly, it does equip itself to Uni-class Super Dreadnought and allow it to attack your opponent directly for 4,100 damage. This will allow you to hit your opponent in 1 shot and finish them off. Very good. I probably would not cut Berserk, but I mean, if you want to play Burner Vires, you could cut something else, but I wouldn't cut Giant Hand or Abyss Dweller, I don't think. This is probably the most cuttable card, and it also serves a purpose. Next up, we're on Karen Gornigan, the Anti-Luminescent Knight. I actually don't think I've ever summoned this either, so this is also a potentially cuttable card. 1 copy of Vimana. I don't think I've summoned this. This is a monster effect negation on a rank 5. Abyss Dweller and Hand are just flex going first cards. If you think your opponent is on something like Tinny, you make this. If you think your opponent is on something that doesn't use the graveyard, you make this. Giant Hand is much worse than Dweller, but there are decks against which Dweller does absolutely nothing. That Giant Hand can potentially put a little bit of work in instead. So that is the deck. I'm pretty satisfied with how it is built, barring, of course, the couple changes I would make, namely just MST at 2, but even then, potentially drawing into Ikura less is not ideal, so we'll see if that ends up being the right play. Regardless of such things, we're going to take this deck to the ladder and play it against some friends playing some meta decks that I expect you to be able to see in the upcoming format, both right now and after the ban list goes live next month. Okay, folks, game number 1 here, going to be up against my favorite deck to hate, Neos Yubel, against a player with 4 cards in the extra deck, so you already know they really know what's going on here. This is usually why I like to request replays versus my friends, because I at least know they have a completed deck and have a semi-competent grasp on the game without having to trudge through ladder, but I didn't do that for this replay, so you got to sit through me beating the shit out of a ladder Andy. We're going to activate Painful Decision to send our normal monster Shari to add our effect monster with the same name from our deck to our hand. Activate level 5 reload for no real reason. Probably actively a bad play to make here. We are going to activate the effect of our Shari Red to summon Uni from deck. Overlay for the rank 5 Dreadnought. That'll get Effect Veiler. That's incredibly funny. This means that we also later in the duel cannot attack directly, since the ability to attack directly happens after an activated effect resolves, so we're fucked. We're going to normal summon Shari regular, activate Ikura, excavate 3 cards, and hit nothing. This is why I think Ikura should be reduced to 1 copy and your MSTs up to 2, because so frequently it just doesn't hit for you. We draw an Ice Dragon's Prison, so that's totally fine. They are going to activate a normal bond, Eternal Bond after normal summoning Yubel to set Terra Incarnate, to flip summon Terra Incarnate, to set the Ultimate Nightmare, to flip summon the Ultimate Nightmare, and we are going to Ice Dragon's Prison that to get that off the field. They're going to activate Eternal Bond to add a Miracle Contact from outside their deck to their hand. Activate Miracle Contact, which means they do have a Neos in hand, so they are going to be able to shuffle it back for a Brave Neos. We are going to negate the effect of Brave Neos because that is not part of the activated effect. We're going to draw Spellbook of Secrets, a pretty great draw because it potentially gets us into another Shari. We're going to add Knowledge to our hand and then activate Spellbook of Knowledge to draw a fat 2 cards. That is perfect. We're going to draw into Shari Red and another Painful Decision, which I believe is offline. We're going to make another rank 5 here. This means we can activate the effect to draw a card. They're going to Karibo! And then we're going to attack for 2,900 points of damage. Very funny. Then they're going to normal summon Yubel again. How incredibly fascinating. They're going to make Terra Incarnate. Then they're going to make the Ultimate Nightmare, then flip summon the Ultimate Nightmare, activate Eternal Bond again. They do not have another Neos in their grip, so they possibly can't activate it. Just kidding. They're going to shuffle them both back for the copy of Neos Kluger. We're going to negate the effect of both of those monsters. and they're going to be able to walk over our Dreadnought and not know what my cards do and kill themselves. That's ladder, folks. Next up here, folks, going to be a game against a Seto Kaiba on what else but Blue Eyes Dimension. Blue Eyes, they haven't updated to the new Battle Chronicle firmware yet. We've opened both Knowledge and Blue Boy, which means we get a draw to without our normal summon, but one less card in hand, which isn't necessarily ideal. We are going to just watch them summon a bunch of monsters, not have access to the Chaos Max for the rest of the duel, which I'm feeling good about, but they do have Abyss Dragon, 2 Search Deep Eyes, and they're going to set nothing and pass. All they have on the field is 3 vanillas, effectively, so we're going to see how much we can't get done here. Draw 2 cards, into Painful Decision and Spellbook of Secrets. I feel like a fucking idiot, but we're going to see if we can't make something happen, despite the lack of 2 cards in hand. We're going to draw a Compulse, that's fantastic. Special Summon Uni by revealing Shari, to Special Summon Shari. Reduce its own level to 4 to add Shari Red to hand. Then we are going to summon Rhapsody and Berserk to show off what this card can do. We're going to banish the Dragon Spirit of White, banish the Monster Reborn, target our Uni, and kill them. Continuing to scour the dregs of Ranked, we're up against a Kaito Tenjo on Photons. Not quite the Tier 0 Super Threat Photon Dragon, Galaxy Eyes Dragon, Turbo Busting Blaster deck, but still a deck that I expect people to be playing since the new cards came out. We're going to make our standard turn 1 play, draw a card. It's Blue Boy, normal summon Blue Boy. Add Secrets to hand, activate Secrets to search Knowledge, activate Knowledge to send Blue Boy to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. Still no back row. This is again why I would cut Ikura for probably literally anything else. We're going to activate Ikura, and we actually activate a Shari. That's pretty funny. So we have a ton of gas in our hand for next turn if we need it. This is sort of the situation where Ikura is not bad because it gives you follow-up, and, you know, we leave a 2,000 attack monster on the field, and we have Giant Hand. So we'll see if we can't make something happen here. They're going to Special Summon Vanisher, add Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to hand. That's totally fine. Gonna activate Galaxy Wizard, then activate Galaxy Photon, the original Galaxy skill, to add Galaxy Expedition to their hand. Then they're going to activate Galaxy Expedition to summon the Photon Dragon, make Cypher Dragon. That's entirely fine with me. We're going to activate Giant Hand to negate the effect to steal, which means only this monster can attack. So while they can make Full Armor Foreskin Dragon, they cannot attack with it, which I am totally fine with. So they're going to make a 3,200 attack monster, pop another one of my cards, and still attack anyway somehow. All right, because I negated the effect, preventing it to attack. No, only Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon can attack that turn, I believe. I don't know what the fuck this thing's effect is. Don't tell me what it is. I don't care. Then we're going to make, Uni after doing our standard play again. Draw another card. Compulse right on time. Normal summon Shari. Activate Ikura. Do not expect any Suships remaining in deck. These are our last 3 cards, actually, which is very funny. And you already know what we're going to do. We're going to make Rhapsody and Berserk to banish the Xyz monster and the original Gept. Equip our Uni, negate a monster, and kill them. Moving up the ban list here to a deck that was Tier 1 prior to the Tachyon Overlords descending upon the metagame. We are up against a Tory Meadows on Constellar. Thank you again so much to the Discord server and my Twitch viewers for allowing me to duel them on meta strategies for this video. They're going to activate Constellar Cradle to add 2 Constellars to their hand. Really only good going first, so quite lucky they drew it going first. They're going to add Zebraman and Pollux. Normal summon Pollux. Activate the effect of Caduceus to search the Constellar star chart. Very good card. I would be very horrified if this card got limited because of this deck, but I don't really know exactly what else they would play. They're going to normal summon Rosselhog, tribute it to special summon a Constellar from hand. That will allow them to make Ahashima, which is a card that was seeing experimentation, but ultimately cut, though I do find it very interesting in this deck specifically. They are going to overlay for the Pleiades at the link point, which I believe means that they'll be able to destroy a spell or trap card if they activate Pleiades, which is a very fun combo with this deck that I am a fan of. We're going to normal summon Blue Boy, activate the Secrets to add Knowledge to our hand. Then we are going to tribute the Blue Boy to draw 2 cards. Oh man, that's a 3 pair actually. Then we are going to special summon our Shari Red after we mulligan back an Ikora with our skill. That will allow us to make Dreadnought. They're going to activate Lost Wind. We can chain Lost Wind. We can chain the effect of Suship Superman. that will send our monster back to the deck. We have no spell traps to destroy, which is fine with me. We're going to fill up our board, add a Suship Shari to our hand prior to our normal summon, make our second Dreadnought, which is, of course, our first. We are going to allow them to set Lost Wind as we chain the on-summon effect of Ikura, or rather Uni. Then we're going to excavate 3 cards, get nothing, attack over the Ahashima, and set our Ice Dragon's Prison. They're going to activate Lost Wind, normal summon a... Who are they normal summoning a fairy? We're going to summon a warrior so we can banish 2 cards. This will unfortunately allow them to normal summon, but I'm just going to have to be okay with that and hope they don't kill us, because if turn passes back to us, we are probably favored from this position. I don't believe that I've negated their star chart at this point, but I do believe I do later in the game. They're going to summon Prolapse. Prolapse is going to let them draw a card off the continuous spell. They're going to set a card and pass. That is totally fine. All we have to do is win this turn, and I think we should be able to. We're going to special summon Shari Red, special summon Uni, make our second, for real this time, Superclass Dreadnought, draw into MST, allowing us to bait out the negate much sooner than we otherwise would have wanted. So they are going to activate it. We're going to activate Super Uni Mega Blaster Man to negate the Terrors of the Overroot. Then we are going to normal summon, special summon, excavate 3 cards just to waste both of our time. We get the Shari, and of course we can make the Turbo Blasting Buster Blaster and punch him in the dick so he scoops. Moving on to a game versus Mizar. I know what you're thinking, Skep. Suship has no way of beating Tachyon, and you're probably right. We're not playing Tachyon. I did get a game versus Tachyon against Mechlord of all people live on stream, and it went about as well as you expect, but they nerfed Tachyon into the ground before I finished recording this video, rather before I even started recording this video, so I figure there's no real need to show it off. I'll get some games versus Tachyon after the ban list comes out. Here are some other decks that that were relatively powerful against Tachyon, and that I expect to be just as good going forward post-ban list. This deck is, of course, Mayakashi, and we are going second. Let's see if we cannot make something happen here. They're going to normal summon Daki Do, the level 2. Then they're going to summon Yuki Musume, sending Yasha, my balls, to the graveyard. Activate Daki, you know how this goes. Make a level 5, revive the level 2, make a level 7, revive the level 2, make a level 9, revive the level 2, make a level 11, revive the level 2, make a link 2, revive the level 2, make a link 3, revive the level 2, make another link 2, revive the level 2, and make another link 3. Revive the link 2, and that is the end of their turn after setting 1 card and passing. Let's see if we cannot play through this. We are going to reveal a Shari to summon an Uni, make the Super Dreadnought Destroying Buster Blaster Man, activate the effect to draw a card, activate Uni in hand to special summon itself, and the Gun Can Suship Shari. They're going to Book of Moon. We are going to let that through. Then we are going to reduce the level of Shari by 4 to add a Shari Red to hand. Then we are going to make a Rhapsody in Berserk here to do something very fun. We are going to force out the activation of Yuki Onna so we can negate it. By targeting Yoko, the Graceful Mayakashi, we prevent it from being summoned from the graveyard, which prevents them from reviving it in the battle phase and destroying our Uni while we attempt to attack directly, which will establish our win condition. So we'll see if that doesn't pan out for us. It leaves the graveyard. We're going to activate it again to banish the level 7 so they can't destroy an equipped Berserk. They're going to activate the Ice Mayakashi, which special summons from banished. I didn't know that. But Yoko only gets its effect if it's special summoned from the graveyard, so even though Yuki Onna, the Ice Mayakashi, summons it from banished, it doesn't get the effect off, and we kill our opponent. Thank God. Alrighty, here, finishing up this showcase, we're going to play against a deck I expect to be high in Tier 2, if not tied for Tier 1, with Tachyon in the coming format, that being Shiranui. Showing off a couple games here just to show you 2 ways this match can go. One, we're going first and we open to back row, and well, we'll see how the second one goes when we get to it. We are going to activate Shari Red, revealing Shari in the hand to special summon both it and a Uni from deck to make Uni class Super Dreadnought. Draw a card off the top of our deck. It's a Shari Red for next turn. Then we are going to summon the Uni, summon Shari, reduce Uni's level by 1 to add the next Shari for next turn to our hand. Then we're going to make Abyss Dweller, set the what's-his-face evacuation device and pass. We're going to activate Dweller in the standby phase. They're going to activate Goldstark Must Be Nice. That's going to destroy my 2900 attack monster. They're going to activate Succession to bin Solitaire and add Squire. Then they're going to normal summon Squire. Summon the Spectral Sword Shade from deck to make Squire Saga. We're going to flip up Compulse and put that card back in the deck. They're going to set 2 cards and pass, and I just want to explain this for the next game. They didn't activate a single graveyard effect this turn, and the only one they could have activated was Spectral Sword Shade, which wasn't that big of a deal. So I was wrongly convinced that Dweller wasn't actually that good in this deck, since all the monsters on the field can banish monsters from the graveyard, and banished monsters can activate that effect. So in the next game, I don't end up making Dweller. So we're going to draw an Uni. That's about the best thing it could be. They're going to activate Sailing Scatatory of Catan, activate Samsara, realizing that we have both rank 4s to negate both of their trap cards in the battle phase. They're probably not going to be able to come back from this with a Dweller on their next turn, and they concede. Alrighty, so that was a game showcasing about as well as this matchup can go for Suships. Let's end it off with a matchup that showcases how bad this can go for the Suship player. We have not opened a back row, but hopefully we can draw into one off of our rank 5, which we're going to Xyz summon right now into the extra monster zone, drawing one card. Nope, it's another Shari red, so we're going to normal summon, special summon Ikura, try to hit another Shari for next turn. We miss, so we shuffle our deck and make Giant Hand. I was so convinced that Dweller wasn't actually good because they just have back row that I made Giant Hand instead to stop the normal summon of Squire. Oh, how wrong I was. They're going to draw a card, activate Gold Sarcophagus, 2 games in a row must be nice, activate Spirit Master, blowing up Giant Hand, activate Shiranui Squire Successor, and the second I see Mizuki hit the graveyard, I realize I have made the wrong decision and that I've lost the game. They're going to add Story to hand, normal summon Squire, summon Spectral Sword Shade, make Vampire Sucker. Then they're going to activate Spectral Sword to banish itself and what's-his-face to summon the level 9 or 6. Draw a card, discard Skullmeister, activate Shiranui. I see the second Mizuki come down and realize it's about time to go home. So we're back with the deck, and despite this deck's pretty impressive win rate in this video, I think that last game versus Shiranui showcases a lot of the deck's problems that keep it from real metagame viability. For starters, I do think you probably want to cut the second Ikura for the second Mystical Space Typhoon. That would have been very helpful in matches where back row did come up. And excavating Shari off of Ikura basically never happened because you get so many Sharis out of your deck before you get to Ikura that it's kind of redundant. Also, the fact that all of this card's combos that draw you cards are 1.5 card combos, meaning either Shari red plus Shari red plus Shari red plus Uni, Shari white plus Uni. You need to draw specific combinations of those cards to get to your draws. Whereas Live Twin gets its draws off of 1-card combos, and it gets a pop on the opponent's turn without needing to draw into that back row, so it can get multiple pieces of interaction, including drawn back row. Whereas this deck, if it draws into back row, that's still just one interaction, because Dreadnought, Super Dreadnought destroying Buster Blaster is really only good as a quick effect on your turn, since it's probably not making it to your opponent's battle phase, or you're not going to need to negate the effect of any of your opponent's playmakers in the battle phase. For that reason, I think the Spellbook engine fits very nicely into this deck. I do not actually advise cutting it for back row if you own the engine, because you need to open Shari names. You really want to be able to draw them, and having a 3-card deep draw engine in a deck that doesn't require its normal summon while still only playing 20 cards for maximum consistency is probably a must in my opinion, along with level 5 reload. Although, of course, given the format that we are in and how rarely I actually activated level 5 reload, I think Sealed Tombs is perhaps the ideal skill for the deck in the upcoming format. Other than that, I think this deck is probably low rogue, not necessarily high rogue, or of course not even tiered, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop playing it, because it is a ton of fun. I really like making Destroyer class Super Uni Dreadnought Mega Man and equipping it with Rhapsody and Berserk and killing my opponent with it in one direct hit. It is a lot of fun, and I encourage you to try it out if you are at all interested in building any of the decks in the Shadal box, whatever it was called. I don't fucking know. So that's that. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and if you made it this late into it, I hope you enjoyed it, or at the very least found it informative. For all you Suship pilots planning on playing this deck in the upcoming format, I hope it brings you much success and is fun for you to play, because of course it is very underpowered, but sometimes you don't need to play the meta to have a good time, because this is an incredibly fun deck to pilot, and I do recommend anyone try it out. There's also a Magic-y version floating around that I don't own the cards for, but perhaps in the future you will see me revisiting this deck with another blonde twink in tow after my World Chalice tenure has finally met its end after the nerfing of the Labyrinth Builder skill. There's been a blonde twink hole in my heart that hopefully Magic-y Clavicus will be able to fill in combination with these beautiful sushi monsters. But until that day comes, thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and a comment for the algorithm. It helps get these videos in front of more people's eyes, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah!